Today is all about money. The current balance of federal student loans nationwide is $902 billion, and people are going to extremes to pay it off. Last month, an anonymous parent posted an ad on Craigslist offering to sell his body parts to pay for his kids' $200,000 in student loans. Today, we're going to take a look at the smart way to budget and how to stop finances from stressing you out.
You know all the questions you ask the internet because you're too scared to say them out loud? Well, it's time to stop being afraid and start talking. Relationships, college, jobs, celebrities, social issues, and sex. Then we'll get into the taboo stuff.
The Chelsea Krost Show, a fresh take on talk.
Our first guest is Manisha Thakur. She earned her MBA from Harvard, her BA from Wellesley, is the author of 2 personal finance books, and is here as an expert from GoGirlFinance.com. Thank you so much for being here today.
Chelsea, it's great to be with you.
You're such a smart cookie, and I'm so excited to pick your brain. You know, the average college student is graduating with $27,000 worth of college debt, and we're really going to extremes to help pay it off. You know, we have websites like seekingarrangements.com, and people are selling their sperm and their eggs. I mean, do you think that these are the best alternatives to help pay for college?
No, not at all. And it's interesting because what it shows is how strongly people value education, and that is a wonderful thing. And I think the key message to get out there is there are a number of alternatives. You can go to a website like savingforcollege.com, for example, and see lots of practical, much less painful or potentially embarrassing ways to get those vital funds to pay for school.
Right, and you know, there's so many ways to educate ourselves because of the internet on the alternatives and the loan options that are out there for college students. So what are some of the great websites that we should start to know so we don't seek the more extreme alternatives?
It's a great question. Again, I think Saving for College is a great site to start out at. Another one, of course, that I like is GoGirlFinance.com. At Go Girl Finance, we have wonderful tips for not just girls, guys as well, on where to look for scholarships, grants, how to think about how much to spend on college and education to begin with. So you really can invest in your knowledge base before you start investing your hard-earned dollars.
You know, and I think when people think of budgeting, they immediately feel restricted, and let's be honest, I mean, budgeting isn't that sexy. So when we're going into college and creeping out of college, how do we start budgeting but not feel restricted and choked?
So, I mean, I think one of the first things that you can do is give yourself an hourly wage. So, for instance, if you're, if you are able to earn $15 an hour, let's say, doing any type of odd jobs, and you see something that costs $150 that you want to buy, do the math. $150 divided by $15 an hour, that means it's 10 hours of work. And then Chelsea, you can say, how bad do I want it? Do I want it 10 hours bad?
You know, that's such a great point because I don't think that we think that way. And, you know, when we're in college, sometimes, you know, that's when we experience having our own credit card. And so a lot of us have to worry about the student loan debt that we face at the end of college, and then hopefully not credit card debt.
Right.
How do we avoid that?
So Chelsea, the number one thing to do is to know that when you put something on a credit card and you make only the minimum monthly payment, it's kind of like you're borrowing from a loan shark. A typical card with a mid-teens interest rate and a 3% minimum monthly payment, say you buy a $100 pair of jeans on that, by the time you're done paying off the interest, it's $180 you've just spent. So you're paying nearly double. So the goal is don't put anything on a credit card that you can't pay off in full when the bill comes.
Great advice. Okay. Now, I love educating people on the benefits of a 401k plan and a Roth IRA, and I think that people don't know how to break it down and understand the benefit and then do the numbers.
Right.
Can you explain that to us?
Sure. So that alphabet soup boils down to this. A 401k and an IRA are just 2 different types of accounts in which you can save money in the workplace or on your own with special tax benefits, and that's the reason why you want to start using them.
And now explain the numbers to us.
So this is the really exciting part. If at 25 you start saving $5,000 a year in one of these tax deferred vehicles, and you earn an average of 7% a year, by the time you're 65, Chelsea, you are a millionaire.
I mean, that's amazing. That's ludicrous numbers, and it's so doable.
$5,000 a year at age 25, every year at 65, you're a millionaire. And when people realize that, you don't have to win the lotto, you don't have to pick the next Apple or Google investment. that's what you need to do. It's just requires some discipline.
And discipline is key, and learning how to budget and saving young only makes it easier as we get older. So don't go away. Manisha and I are sticking around to play a game called Save or Splurge. We'll be right back.
What is worth splurging on, and what's important to save on?
All right, we're back with Manisha Thakur, and she's ready to answer some of our viewer questions that were sent in to say whether they should save or splurge. All right, and I'm hoping that we could splurge a little today. So
we'll see.
Here is my first question. It's from my viewer, Lexi. I just got my tax return for $1,200 and I really want to go on a trip with my friends. I'm about to graduate, but a tax return is basically free money, so it's fine to use it on my trip, right? Her student loans is $22,000. Her credit card debt is $2,000. Her savings is $300, and her monthly income is $900. So I'm thinking she needs to save.
So, Lexi, I feel so bad being the bearer of potentially unpleasant news, but that tax refund is not free money. That tax refund is actually your own money. It's money that you prepaid to Uncle Sam, that you overpaid in taxes. And the reason that I have to say save is that Lexi has $2,000 in credit card debt, and it'll be much better for her to take that $1,200, apply it to paying down that credit card debt, because as we talked about earlier in the show, if she just pays the minimum monthly payment, it'll cost her nearly $4,000 by the time she's paying off that credit card debt.
So what are some tips regarding tax return money that we should, think of?
Number one, if you have credit card debt, that's the first place at Go Girl Finance we want to see you paying off those credit cards. The second thing is if you don't have an emergency fund, her savings was low, I'd like to see at least a $2,000 emergency fund.
Okay.
After those two, then you can start thinking about splurging.
Okay, all right, here's my next question from Sam. He is graduating in 2 months and really needs a new car for his job search. My current one is very old, but probably has a year left in it with a few repairs. Should I get a new one now? His student loans is $15,000. His credit card debt is $0. His savings is $4,000, and his monthly income is $2,500. I'm feeling optimistic, and I think he could possibly splurge.
Well, Sam has some pretty impressive numbers there, and I'm going to say 80% splurge, but with a little saving twist. And let me explain. I think he should buy a car, but not a new car. I think he should buy a used car, a 2 or 3 year old used car with low mileage. He'll pay a lot less money, and he won't have to have those repairs that he's concerned about, most likely.
Okay, so moral of the story, splurge smartly.
Exactly.
Okay. All right, here is my last question from Brianna. For graduation, my friends are going to Cancun, and she really wants to go, but she doesn't know if she can afford it. Her student loans is $55,000. Her credit card debt is $5,000. Her savings is $800, and her monthly income is $1,200. I'm thinking save because it's pretty high in credit card debt.
I'm saying double save. I'm right there with you, Chelsea. And the other thing I'd highlight is her student loans are extremely high at $55,000 already, and I'm guessing she's not a senior. A rough rule of thumb is you don't want to take out more in student loan debt than you think you're going to earn on average in your first 10 years out of school. And so at that loan level, you want to be doing everything you can to build up your savings to start chipping away at that debt.
Well, Brianna, Cancun's not going anywhere, so maybe just now is not the time. But thank you so much for helping me answer these questions. Hopefully you guys learned a little bit something, whether to save or splurge. And when we get back, we will talk about some phone apps that could help you save savvier.
What are some great apps that will help me track my spendings and savings?
Cassie Slane is an on-air tech expert and reporter with over a decade of experience. She currently blogs for Huffington Post, Tech Session, and writes for BestTechie.com. Thank you so much for being here.
It's good to be here.
What was this world like without apps?
I know, right?
It's an app world. I put it out there on Twitter, what apps are your favorite for financing, budgeting? And Mint was by far the best and, had the best ratings.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about Mint.
Mint is really popular because it's so easy to use. Now, it will track all of your spending, it will organize it, it'll even alert you when you're going over budget. And this is what you do. You basically log into Mint and you upload you just put in your log information for all your bank account information and your credit cards, and it will sync all of that information automatically on the app. So it will organize every time you make a purchase, it will put it in there, whether it's shopping, whether it's food, so you always know what you're spending. But the problem with it is you always know what you're spending. Right. So when you look at it, you know, oh my goodness, I'm over budget, or I owe more in debt, or I can't spend as much as I thought I could. So you really are always constantly knowing exactly what you're spending, exactly what you have, so no more guesswork and no more getting that big bill at the end of the month where you're just,
right, so it doesn't overwhelm you at the end of the month, but it also alerts you as you spend. So it seems like a great overall app regarding finances.
It is. It's very good, easy to use. It's a very easy way to keep up to date on all of your finances.
Fabulous. Now, the next app is Easy Shift, and I don't know anything about Easy Shift.
Well, this is really cool. If you want to make a little extra cash when you're going out shopping, this is awesome, because what you can do is, go to the grocery store and you can look on Easy Shift. It'll say, if you go to this grocery store and you look at the display, we want to see what the display looks like, if the company is doing it right. You can take a picture of a display, you can write down a price of an item at the grocery store, and you submit it, and you can get paid anywhere from $2 to $20 for that easy assignment.
So you can make money off this app.
Make money while you go shopping. Exactly. And it's really quick and easy things. And if you're good at it, it can unlock to even bigger and more, better little shifts. You can make even more money.
All right, college kids, make money off an app.
Exactly.
Who doesn't love that?
I know.
All right, and our last app is Shop Savvy.
Well, this is great. I mean, how many times you go to the mall and you're going to get a pair of jeans and you got to go to Nordstrom, Bloomingdale's, all these different stores to try to find the best price? Well, you don't have to do that anymore. This is a barcode scanner. You scan whatever it is you're looking for, and it will tell you the best price in the local area or even online. So you're always going to pay the best price. You're never going to overspend for an item that you really want. And you can also buy it within the app. So you can hit and tap and purchase it right there.
What will they think of next? And can you also check online prices if you're shopping online?
Yes, it'll tell you online prices, local prices, everything in your area, so you'll always know the best price. You'll never have to pay more than you should pay.
I love it. Thank you so much for being here.
Absolutely.
You know, the millennial generation is the most stressed generation and one of the leading factors in financial worries. So when we come back, we're going to learn some easy ways to de-stress. Yoga practices can have an almost immediate impact on gene expression. And from previous research, we know that yoga is linked to not only lower stress levels, but also reduced back pain and relief from depression. So with us is yoga instructor Francesco Severa, and she is helping us to relieve stress with some yoga moves. And so what is our first move?
We'll start in child's pose.
Okay.
So you'll bring your big toes together, and then your knees can be together or they can be apart. And all of these moves are really simple and accessible for you guys at home to join us, and really powerful and potent as well.
And it feels amazing.
So the most important thing here is your forehead, the center of your forehead on the floor. Good. Because pressure on the center of the forehead stimulates the vagus nerve, which induces the relaxation response in the body and slows the heart rate, actually.
Now, how, soon after you do yoga are you supposed to start feeling the reduced in stress level?
I mean, you could feel it almost immediately, like as you're doing this. So take your hands a little bit wider and then let your shoulder blades melt down your back. And then you take a big breath into your side ribs. And then the next one we'll open up your ribs more. So walk both of your hands to the right. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. More. And then you'll pull this hand and press it down, and then you should feel a big stretch through this left side. And
feels so good.
Yeah, take a big breath in as you spread out through the ribs. And then walk through the center and to the second side. So keep going, keep going, keep going. The right hip presses down, and then you take a big breath into the right ribs, the right lung, and let the forehead be heavy as you exhale.
And what's so great is that you can do this at home, before work, after work.
Anytime. Come into the center, and then you're gonna roll up to sit and come all the way onto your back.
Okay.
I've been looking forward to this all day.
Yeah. So separate your feet a little bit. No, you're going to keep your feet flat on the floor. Just separate them and then bring them closer to you. And then take a big breath in and reach your arms up and back. And then your whole exhale to bring your arms back down. And then do that again. Breathe into your belly, reach your arms up slow. And then super slow exhale, arms come down. One more time, lift the arms. This time lift your hips as well into a bridge pose. And then long exhale, hips come down, arms come down. Twice more like that. Breathe into the belly. And then long, slow exhale. Everything touches the floor at the same time. Last one, breathe in. So the mind and the body are really connected here through the breath. And exhale all the way down. And then you'll bring the soles of your feet together and let your knees fall open, and you can just grab any couch cushions or pillows and bring your hands to rest on your belly and let your eyes close. So this pose helps really deepen and slow the breath, as does the last one, and it stimulates the parasympathetic nervous system.
Isn't breath one of the leading causes of stress, like we forget to breathe?
Yeah, the breath is connected to the nervous system. So if you're breathing really quickly and in a shallow place in your body, it will tell your body that you're in danger and tell your mind that you're in danger. So then you can slowly bring your knees back together, feet flat on the floor, and then come all the way up to sit.
Oh, well, thank you so
You're
much,
welcome,
Francesca.
Chelsea.
That feels amazing, and it's so easy to do. I really advise everybody to do it before, after work, whenever you get a break. And thank you again. And we'll also be back next with talking about food, one of my favorite things, and how it affects our mood and how to de-stress our stress level. So that was a picture of how my friends and I de-stress with a feast of sushi. But there is a healthier way to do that, and that's why we have certified health coach Marissa Vicario to tell us about the dorm diet versus the fresh diet. I'm so happy you're here because I know that food directly relates to my mood. But what does it do for the body?
Absolutely. Well, food has a very significant impact on how we feel and our mood. So for instance, a diet that is very focused on highly processed and packaged foods will make you feel tired, lethargic, and heavy.
And that's the food that we're eating as college kids because it's affordable, it's cheap, it's
Absolutely.
easy, and it's delicious.
Absolutely. So that is true, and that is a common belief among college students. However, these foods that are whole, natural, and fresh can also be very inexpensive and taste absolutely delicious.
And you also have alternatives to food. You know, you have Epsom salts and some
Yes.
oils, and those are great stress relievers as well.
Absolutely. So Epsom salt is actually not salt at all. It is magnesium sulfate, which is a compound. And magnesium is a natural stress reliever. So if you add 2 cups of Epsom salt to a hot bath and soak in it for 15 to 20 minutes a few times a week, you will naturally relieve stress because it has a very calming and soothing effect on the body.
I love that, and you could do that after some yoga.
You could do it after some yoga. And also, highly stressed bodies are deficient in magnesium. So this is a great way to get that magnesium replenished by soaking it up through your skin.
I'm always reading so many articles, and it says that, you know, in today's society, we tend to lack magnesium and calcium, so it seems like it would be only fitting to replace that through food.
Absolutely. 68% of the population is magnesium deficient.
And that really does have an effect on our stress level.
Absolutely.
So these are magnesium-rich foods.
These are
here.
magnesium-rich foods. We have almonds, we have dark chocolate, and we have tahini, which is a sesame seed spread similar to peanut butter or almond butter.
So you can supplement it on like a tahini and peanut butter jelly sandwich, but not peanut butter.
Yes, yes. You can use it the same way.
And dark chocolate is always written up as a superfood, and I just read an article that said that there's a chemical in dark chocolate that actually has the effect of medical marijuana. Is that true?
Well, dark chocolate boosts serotonin in the brain, which releases endorphins. And that creates a mood-lifting effect, sort of a euphoric effect, similar to the way you feel when you exercise or when you fall in love. So in that way, it can be a mild antidepressant and stress reliever.
Interesting. And we got some sea vegetables going on.
Sure, we have nori here. This is a source of vitamin B5, also known as pantothenic acid, which is referred to as the stress relief vitamin.
Okay.
So this is great for the function of our central nervous system to help relieve stress.
I like eating these plain. I think it's a great crunchy snack.
Yes, you can eat these plain. You can also wrap leftover vegetables or whole grains in these and eat it like a burrito.
Or like wrap a turkey in it, serve a little
Sure.
meat for the meat eaters.
Absolutely.
And this bowl, I love avocado.
Me too.
Love avocado.
Avocado, broccoli, and oranges. These are our sources of folic acid. Again, they help lower stress by helping the nerves to function properly.
And bananas?
Bananas are a high source of potassium, and they regulate our blood pressure.
Okay. And also, they're such a great superfood. I feel like after a workout and you need to replenish your body, but you want something healthy, a banana really makes you feel full.
Absolutely. And another way that food affects mood is if you are deficient in potassium, you will feel irritable and fatigued, which are symptoms of stress.
Chia seeds. I love chia seeds. A lot of people don't know about them, but they're a great source of protein.
Absolutely. They are a great source of protein and also, in this case, omega-3 fatty acids.
Okay.
And omega-3 fatty acids are essential for our bodies, but we don't actually make it. We have to get it from food.
Oh, interesting.
So chia seeds are a great way to do that. They're great for brain function, and when your brain is functioning well and you're clear and focused, you can better handle stress.
Now, juicing is totally a trend. I mean, there's juicing bars all over Manhattan. I don't know what I would do without them. This is a juicing recipe. What are the benefits to the ingredients and this juice?
So, sure. So this juicing recipe has kale, beets, carrots, cucumber, lemon, and ginger. This is a very detoxifying juice recipe. If you feed these ingredients through your blender, drink this in the morning, you'll feel very energized, focused, and alive.
Thank you so much. I can't wait
you.
to make that juice at home. Thank you for being here.
Thanks,
Thank you to all my guests. To find out more about today's show, go to our website and keep sending me pictures and messages via social media. And be sure to check out the resumebear.com quick tip of the week. Goodbye, everybody.